Today we will talk about the empirical research cycle. It follows a systematic cycle with 5 main stages. Imagine a researcher who is curious about whether short daily meditation sessions can reduce stress levels among university students. That curiosity brings us to the very first step of the cycle, formulating a research question. In this case, the question might be, does a 10-minute meditation practice each day lower perceived stress in students during exam season? Once the question is clear, the researcher moves to the second stage, designing the study. They decide to recruit 2 groups of students. One group will practice daily meditation, while the other won't. They also choose a validated stress questionnaire that both groups will complete before and after the exam period. At this stage, the researcher might also run a power analysis to figure out how many students need to participate to detect a meaningful difference. The third stage is data collection. Here, the researcher carries out the plan, recruiting the students, guiding the meditation group through their daily sessions, and ensuring everyone fills out the stress questionnaire at the right times. After the data are collected, the fourth stage begins, analysis. The researcher compares the stress scores of the meditation group with those of the control group. Suppose the results show that students who meditated reported significantly lower stress compared to those who didn't. Finally, the process leads to the fifth stage, reporting. The researcher writes up the entire study, the question, the design, the methods, the results, and the conclusions, and submits it to a psychology journal. Perhaps the discussion section of the article raises a new question. Would the same effect hold if the meditation sessions lasted only 5 minutes, or if the participants weren't students but working professionals? And just like that, the cycle begins again. Now, although this sounds like a simple step-by-step sequence, the reality is more dynamic. The research cycle is iterative, which means it loops back on itself. For example, reporting on one study often sparks new research questions, and parts of the report, such as the introduction, are often written before the data are even collected. Sometimes, during the design phase, researchers realize the original research question isn't feasible, and it needs to be adjusted. There's a lot of back and forth. Still, one rule always holds. Data collection cannot start until the study is properly designed and the research question is fixed. At that moment, researchers must also know in advance how the data will be analyzed.